Now Mark Robbins with some breaking news at the ESPN Radio Sports Center. It is changing day by day, and now Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, according to ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter, has decided, Watson that is, that he wants to play for the Cleveland Browns. And Watson has informed the Texans he's willing to waive his no-trade clause to be dealt to Cleveland. Now, I know what we said yesterday and I said a little while ago, but that's the latest. Deshaun Watson wants to be traded to the Cleveland Browns. And thank you to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Day 2 for a full slate of NCAA men's basketball tournament games, 16 on the schedule. Picking up first-round wins today, Ohio State and Purdue's about to wrap things up 28 with 2 minutes to go on Yale. Those two out of the Big Ten. The 2 seed in the Midwest, Auburn, gets a victory over Jacksonville State. And in the women's side, top seed, overall seed, South Carolina beats Howard by the final of 79-21. That's the fewest points ever scored in a game.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload. Get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
This is legit, dude. Check me out. I got camo paint on my face.
Ryan Theriot hitless in 4 at-bats.
When it's 20 degrees, Matt, and you're sitting in a deer stand, it's freezing cold. Okay, you need a beanie on your head.
Our weekly visit with Ryan Theriot is brought to you by Bowie Outfitters. Bowie Outfitters, your home for everything outdoors.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muse. That's the wrong one. We're here. Glad you are as well. Making a good one. Yeah, Brett?
Yeah, right?
Here early.
Not really early.
Yeah, you're early. You're normally here at 4. It's 3. You're here an hour early.
Well, I'm here an hour early for the show, but I'm not like earlier. Actually, I walked in and my phone said 3 o'clock on it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't early.
No, you walked in right as we were starting the show. Yeah. But, I mean, normally you're here at 4.
Only here at 4. Yeah, early day.
That's what happens when your brother, the baseball coach at Dunham, decides he's going to move a game from 6 to 4 or 6:30 to 4. So thanks a lot for that, West Area. By the way, you're fired.
Yep.
Fired. You're never coming on this show again.
Yeah.
Made his lone appearance last week. Now he's done. Yep. Dunzo.
If you do that with the Rougarou, you're going to be in trouble, buddy.
I know. People aren't going to be showing up.
They won't be at the game.
Can't
and then
do it.
Ronnie's going to lose all his money, and then, yeah.
Then Ronnie will be like doing karaoke nights.
Singing the national anthem at the box just to make ends meet.
Just to make a few bucks so he can pay the bills.
Yeah.
All right, so Terrio's only here for a little bit here in this first hour. There is massive breaking news literally in the last 10 minutes. If you haven't heard yet, it was just in Sports Center there. Take that down a bit, Muse. Thank you. Adam Schefter is reporting that Deshaun Watson has had a little bit of a change of heart. Initially, he eliminated the Cleveland Browns. First team he eliminated from contention was the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
And apparently he had told the Panthers they were out as well. And so it was down to the Saints and the Falcons.
I feel good about that.
And Deshaun Watson was going to wait until through the weekend because he was really conflicted. And now that apparently is not going to happen. Deshaun Watson has changed his mind.
Okay.
He's decided he does, in fact, want to play for the Cleveland Browns, as Schefter tweets, in a stunning change of events. Watson's informed the Texans he is now willing to waive the no-trade clause in his contract to be dealt to Cleveland. So Deshaun Watson is going to be a Cleveland Brown.
Oh, wow.
This is not a joke, by the way. This is what's happening. And you might wonder why. It seemed like he was deciding between either a really good team in the Saints or going home for the Falcons, right? That's his decision. You make an emotional decision, you make an illogical decision.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Well, apparently what he did was he made a financial decision. The Browns are giving Watson a new deal. $184 million over the first 4 years. It's a $48 million raise over what he was expected to make under his current deal. Basically, a $12 million per year raise. That explains it. Cleveland came in and they're like, hey, bro, how about we give you an extra $50 million guaranteed to come play for us? He's like, okay.
I'm in.
Saints, sorry.
Wow.
Home, I'll come visit. I'm going to go play in Cleveland with the sorry-ass Browns. Cleveland. No Odell. They just cut Jarvis.
Yeah.
They ain't got a damn player on that team. And he's like, all right, we're going to play for them. Money talks, bro. Money talks. Much more reaction to this as the day goes along. Not just what this does to the entire landscape of the NFL. I mean, he stays in the AFC. There's so much to unpack, but what do the Saints do now? My assumption is the Saints will move quickly and sign Jameis Winston to the deal that they had offered him and that was on the book. So there is a lot to get to. So I will get to all of that. How was your week?
One week so far has been great. It's been a stunning week.
You have something else planned?
It's been a really good week.
Oh, really?
It has.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, little crazy weather this week, which wasn't great for those that had issues with their roof. However, we were able to help a lot of families and people in need that had water coming in their house. So Hudco was able to do that. So I'm fired up about that. It always feels good to help, Matt, when there's water coming in. So that was good. And then the girls had a big tournament victory in a soccer tournament.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Played up against seniors, and they're all freshmen and eighth graders.
Oh, wow.
And they beat everybody.
Oh, it beat everybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't that fun. So that was cool.
Woo!
The Dunham Tigers are still rolling. There's just a lot of good that's going on. I was at a game last night, though. And my letter topic just went off in my head like a light bulb.
Yeah.
I was actually sitting next to Josh Dalton. Shout out. You remember Josh Dalton?
I do. Shortstop. I absolutely remember Josh Dalton.
Yeah. Son's a nice little player.
Was Josh Dalton from Canada?
No.
Ivan Nakarada
Nebraska.
was from Canada.
Yeah, Omaha, actually, Josh.
From Omaha.
Mm-hmm. My guy. Yeah, so he was a senior my freshman year.
I
played
remember.
Shortstop. I played second.
I
Love Josh. Anyway, so I'm sitting next to Josh watching the game, taking it all in. Really cool. Reminisce, talk baseball. There's two baseball guys sitting there watching their kids play. It was awesome.
Yeah.
My letter topic came. So I'd like to share it with you guys.
Okay.
Whew. Dear stupid parents in the stands. Probably going to catch some heat for this one.
Okay.
Throughout my entire playing career, Little League all the way through the major leagues, Randy Theriot, my dad, shout out, would find a spot as far away from the other parents as humanly possible and watch the game. He'd be all the way down the fence line at Millerville Academy. You're familiar.
I played there, yeah.
Yep. Same thing at Broadmoor, as far away as he could get. And at LSU, he stood up at the third base line and up in the concourse, and he would hang out with the ushers.
Okay.
At Wrigley, he did the exact same thing. We had some nice seats for the friends and family section, and he wouldn't sit there. He went and got away from everybody. I always thought that Pop did that because he was nervous or he just didn't want to talk to the parents. But the more games I go to, the more I realize he was running away from the stupid loudmouth fans that know absolutely nothing about the game and only want to hear themselves shout.
I hate those. They're the worst.
Mm-hmm.
If that's you,
yeah, go ahead.
If that's you, don't be that person.
You're bad.
Don't be not just at your kids' sporting events, at any sporting event. You are the worst. Go ahead.
Sitting at Young Houston's game last night, minding my own business with Josh, and it was on full display. There's a loudmouth mom sitting back behind us, screaming stupid crap the entire game. She doesn't pull for her kid, Matt. Let's go, Johnny.
No.
Good pitch, Johnny. She doesn't pull for her team. She complains about the umpire as loud as she possibly can. And then she shouts on a 3-0 count, "He don't want to hit. He just wants to walk." Okay.
It's 3-0 count. Usually you don't swing on a 3-0 count.
And now you're yelling at the other team. Belittling the other kid.
Yeah.
How about, here we go, Johnny, throw a strike right here. No. It's, he don't want to hit. He wants to walk.
I don't mind walking.
Come on, Blue, open your eyes. You're missing a good game. Got that one, too.
Oh.
Hey, Karen, the umpire sucks. He does.
He's not good.
He's not a good umpire.
He's a high school umpire.
He's a high school umpire.
Yeah.
And he's going to be umping at Traction, an 8U game tomorrow. I know that. We hire the same guys. He stinks at Traction, too.
Yeah.
They all stink.
Yeah, they do. It's true. I mean, if you go to the major leagues, they stink there, too. They stink everywhere.
They're not good.
In every sport. They're all bad.
They're all bad. So we get robots.
I'm
We're
ready
going
for
to make
it.
mistakes.
I'm ready for it.
And newsflash, lady, your kid stinks too.
Yeah.
Okay? You're doing all this screaming, acting like a moron, drawing attention to yourself while embarrassing the other parents on your team is totally uncalled for, because that's what happens. There's a reason why you got to sit by yourself. You wonder why nobody talks to you when you walk into the gates. It's because they're all embarrassed to sit near you, because they know what you're going to do. Hey, Dad, who complains about every call that the umpire makes while drinking a mixed drink out of your Yeti.
That's so going to be me.
It's not funny at all.
I'd be the guy at the end of the fence line drinking the mixed drink out of my Yeti. Actually, not a mixed drink, just a... And like every single call that's made, you have something to say. You got 2 or 3 guys next to you. You hit him in the shoulder after you yell at the umpire, like, "Hey, you see where I got him right there?" Like, it's not like a thing. You're the worst.
You are the worst.
You're the worst.
Actually. You don't know crap about baseball. You scream balk when the pitcher holds the ball too long. The kid cannot run to first base after a dropped third strike when the first base is occupied. Like, that's not a thing. Okay, so don't yell about that. And your coach is probably a science teacher, so he's not going to be able to develop a lights-out breaking ball for your closer. All right? It's an amateur baseball game. Stop running down the coach in the stands. Heard it all night last night. It was unbelievable. He's giving of his time, getting paid peanuts compared to the effort and energy he's putting in for your kid, who stinks. This only happens in baseball, though. It is I hope you have a theory on this, Matt, because it's crazy. It only happens in baseball. You rarely get the know-it-all parents in football or basketball games. And I still haven't figured out why it is what it is for sure.
Well, you just get you also have a bigger crowd. You plus can't hear them as much.
Yeah, but I sit in the same area with the parents. I mean, maybe so. Maybe it's the size of the crowd.
Yeah.
But it's so hard for me to sit in the stands and listen to these idiots. And I'm a huge fan of the parents being there and being supportive. I'm even bigger fan of the parent that can't sit still. Now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This one's good. If you've been to a game recently, this one's good. The mom that crushes sunflower seeds and Cokes the whole time, and she just paces up and down, and she can't sit still because she's so nervous.
I don't know her.
She's there.
I haven't been to
Be on the lookout for her. She's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's good?
She's good.
Sunflower seeds and Cokes.
Yep.
Got it.
And then she talks to every friend group there because she can't sit still because she's super nervous. That one's gone. Yeah. And then the dad with the giant chew in his mouth, he runs back and forth his truck to load up his beer in the Yeti. He can't sit still and just sit and watch because he's so nervous, right? Just praying that the lesson's paid off. Those are the best. Like, those two parents to me are entertaining. The loud mouth one I hate. The ones that are nervous and can't sit still are entertaining. Don't be either one of those guys. Here's my advice. Watch the game. Listen to the interactions. Notice the excitement and disappointment. Watch what the kids do in the dugout after a big hit or a costly strikeout. Learn the game on that level, and you'll be able to better enjoy it. And lastly, the worst time to talk about the game is on the car ride home or when you greet your child when they're walking out from the field. If they suck, they know they sucked. There's no need to tell them what they did wrong. If they did great, pat them on the back, give them a hug. Sincerely, Ryan.
Well done. Terriot's in early with us because he's got to get to a game with annoying parents.
Yep.
The gigantic news, if you've yet to hear it, Deshaun Watson has made his decision. He's going to Cleveland. The Browns have paid him a buttload of money, and money talks. So the Saints and Falcons' pursuit of Deshaun Watson is over. What does that mean for the Saints moving forward? We're going to get to all of that. Glad you're with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Got an email yesterday.
I got a couple of them.
You want me to read it to you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what it was about?
Insurance?
Yep. How'd you guess?
You get a lot of emails about insurance.
I actually do get a lot of emails about insurance. I got an email from a fella named, of course, now I'm trying to find it. I can't. God dog it. I hate when this. There it is. Robert. His name is Robert Chaudouin. Shadoin.
Okay.
Robert Chaudouin.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Adam at their office just switched our car insurance to a new carrier. I had Geico. He upped our coverage, and we're saving $804 a year. All caps. Boom. Let's go. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage, less money. Get better coverage and pay less for it. And why wouldn't you want to do that? 293-0450. 293-0450.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and
got your Michael Kors and a couple of racks for you. Girl, you know I love you, I go hard for you. I went and got another food stamp card for you. Girl, I know I left you, but I'm back for you. I got your Michael Kors and a couple of racks for you. Call me when you need
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
Oh, you can't hear because you don't have headphones. It's Let Me Find Out Part 2. That's what he's playing there. All right, Theriot is going to bounce here in about 15 minutes. He's got to get out to Sanamaw. The Dunham Tigers are playing the Sanamaw Gators tonight in baseball. They moved the game up. I do want a thought on Deshaun Watson. We'll get to some LSU baseball in a second, but give me a thought first on Deshaun Watson. This, I mean, it's pretty stunning, but you went through, not at this level, right, but you went through a lot of free agency. He's not a free agent, got a trade, but similar.
Like contract negotiation type deals and choosing your team.
Yeah, teams, yeah.
Three times, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So give me some thoughts here on the Watson news. If you're just joining us again, I'll keep repeating it. Deshaun Watson has made his decision. We thought it was going to wait until Monday, but he's made his decision. He's going to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland jumped back in, made an enormous offer. They're essentially giving him $48 million more than he was going to get under his current contract. They gave him a $12 million per year raise. They basically came in and said, okay, well, they're good, and that's home, but we're going to give you $50 million more to come play for us.
Yeah.
And so he's picking Cleveland. And they're going to be awful, by the way. Yeah. Because not only are they not good now, they're about to give up all those picks and players as part of this deal as well. So they're not even going to have assets to make themselves any better. Anyway, this was a money play.
Mm-hmm.
All this was. Anyway, go ahead.
So he's 26 years old.
Yeah.
And this is a 6-year deal, correct? 4. Okay. 4-year deal. And what's the total?
$184 million.
Okay.
Let me make sure I have that number right. But according to Schefter's tweet, they basically took his 4-year deal and added $48 million guaranteed on those 4 years remaining on the contract.
So I think Deshaun Watson would have to be a moron not to take this deal. I think he has to take this deal.
So here it is. Schefter just tweeted this. 5 years, $230 million. Yeah. So the numbers that I mentioned was on top of what he had before. So 5 years,
$230 million.
230 is the number.
Okay, so he's 31 years old when this deal is up.
It's $184 million over the first 4 years of the contract. It's basically a $48 million.
Matt, how can you not take the deal?
It's
right?
$200 million. It's $230 million.
No. He has to take this deal. He's 31 years old when this contract is up. He's putting $250 million in his bank account.
I know.
Okay? He's got we're seeing what Tom Brady's doing and Aaron Rodgers playing into his late 30s and Drew Brees, same thing. He's going to have 8, 9, 10 more years to play after this to go chase a ring and get on a good team, assuming that he's still healthy. So, and who knows what the salaries are going to look like then. He has to take this deal. Look, it sucks. You know, you want him to wear the black and gold and go to New Orleans and give him a chance to win a Super Bowl, but Deshaun Watson absolutely has to take this 5-year, $230 million deal and go and it's $250 million. Go chase the rings and make the legacy play the last half of your career. But, I mean, this is rare to be able to cash in like this at 26, 27 years old. I think he has to take it.
Yeah. I'm mostly, like, as bummed as I am that he's not going to be in New Orleans because I thought they had a real legitimate shot of getting him. I'm equally relieved he's not going to Atlanta because you don't have to play against him. If you had to play against him twice a year, that would suck.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Cleveland, okay, just go exist in obscurity in Cleveland on a bad football team. Get your money, play on a bad football team. You're Mike Trout in L.A. All right, you got $500 million and you're playing on bad teams and you're never going to win anything. Okay,
yeah,
get your money, but you're never going to win. Okay, see ya. Deuces.
And the difference with Trout, I mean, Trout's a great comparison. The difference, this is 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say in 3 years there's not a trade made? And I mean, like, this is
be a big number to take on.
Maybe not in 3 years. I mean, you never know what's going to happen with the salary caps and stuff. I mean, I think he has to take this from a player standpoint. I'm sure he sat back and went, golly, I want to go win now, but
it's like, would the PA even let you turn something like that down? Probably not.
There's definitely a discussion there. You definitely get a phone call.
I mean, because you're wrecking the market for everyone else. I mean, when you take a deal like this, you reset the market.
Sure.
So everyone behind you gets more.
Yep.
So it does make a lot of sense.
What's the quarterback that's loving this right now? Who's up for a new deal next year?
Think about the guys on their rookie deals.
Yeah.
Who've been around.
Dude in Buffalo, is he still on a rookie deal?
Well, most of those guys have already got, like Mahomes, Allen. Most of those guys have already got new deals. I think Burrow, think Justin Herbert. I think those guys, by the time they come due, because
what are they, 3 years on the rookie deal?
It's a rookie deal is 4, but the team has a 5th-year option if you're a first-round pick. And nobody, like, they're going to re-sign you before you get to the 5th year.
Okay.
Because you play the 5th year, they're never going to let you hit unrestricted free agency if you're worth a damn.
Yeah.
So, like, Burrow will never get into his 5th. So, like, the Bills were smart. They went and extended Josh Allen early enough so they didn't wait to that point where in another year or two, whatever it is, the contract sizes are even larger. You just do it now. You know he's your guy. You're committed to him. Just do it now.
So Burrow's going into Burrow and Herbert are going into their third.
They're going into their third.
So if what you're saying is right, so after next season, it might be those talks may start.
Yeah, with Burrow, I would think so.
Get your money, Joe.
It's after further review. We're glad you're with us here. By the way, we did announce yesterday. Theriot mentioned he and I, of course, are partners at Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. We got a new team member. How about our guy, Hot Rod?
Oh.
Rodney Beloso has joined the Hudco team. Fired up about that, man. Hot Rod, 31 years, worked for Fortune 500 companies. He's an entrepreneur, owns Hot Rod's Cajun Seasoning. Of course, he's Cade Beloso's dad as well. Should mention that caveat. He's a super proud dad. But he's just like all energy. Everyone knows him. Everyone loves him. And glad to have him on the Hudco team. Now, he kind of retired. He had retired from his career job, and now he's working with us.
You know, he told me, he said, Ryan, it's about customer service. It's about the way you treat people. And that's all I had to hear. I said, man, what do we got to do? Got to get you on the team. So, yeah, we're fired up. He hit the ground running, too, man. Focusing like St. Bernard Parish, New Orleans, home of Thibodeau area, you know, where he is, where his people at, you know. So we're excited to have Hot Rod. And like I said, he's rolling, man. He hit the ground running and is already out there killing it. So if you got a roof needs, re-roof, whatever it may be, commercial, residential, man, give Hot Rod a shout. Call us at Hudco. He can take care of it. We can all take care of you. So
364-1007, 364-1007, or HudcoRoofing.com. Had a lot of bad weather in the area last night with those really bad storms. If you felt the effects, if you're not sure if you have roof damage, we'll always give you a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. That's me. That's Theriot. That's Hot Rod, Rodney Beloso. It's us at Hudco. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. All right, LSU baseball opens up conference play tonight against Texas A&M, 3-game series. Leah Vann has reported Ty Floyd's going to start tonight. I believe, based on what I've been told, that if Blake and Leah Vann did tweet this as well, Blake Money's going to start tomorrow. He's going to start on Saturday.
Okay.
Provided he's good to go. Like if pregame, all this stuff, he's feeling good. He's going to start on Saturday. So I think you're going to see Floyd, Money, TBD.
Yep.
How do you think that shapes up?
TBD?
No, not TBD. Just the whole weekend.
Yeah. Well, let's. I guess you can start with Floyd. I mean, we know what we're going to get with Floyd. You know, an encouraging outing. I think last time it's progressively gotten better and better and better. Does he have the fastball to pitch on Friday night? Yes. Is he ready to pitch on Friday night? Probably not, in my opinion. But you know, it is what it is. He wouldn't shock me if he went out there and threw 6 really good innings, 7 really good innings. I mean, he's got that type of ability. I'm not as confident in Floyd as I am in Money for obvious reasons. Pushing Money back a day gives you an advantage. You have our Friday night guy going against their Saturday guy. We didn't do this on purpose, but this is something you saw Maneri do quite a bit, and you see it happen throughout the league where they'll play matchups and pitch your ace against the other team's second or third guy to try to get a victory. I don't think that's what we did on purpose here, but that's how it's playing out. So advantage LSU Saturday for sure. And then Sunday, your guess is as good as mine on who gets the ball Sunday. I'm really not sure. We've seen a lot of different guys take the ball. We've seen guys throw really well, guys that I thought, we were going to count on and maybe be in that rotation, just not get an opportunity and haven't thrown the ball well. So we'll see what happens Sunday. But Saturday's big, man. We can get one tonight, then you win the series, in my opinion.
I would agree. Mikhail Hilliard would make the most sense on Sunday, I think, if he doesn't throw tonight or tomorrow in relief. I think that's kind of the path that Jay Johnson and Jason Kelly are taking right now. It's whatever you have to do to get through a game on a given day. Whoever you have to throw them, get the win, and then figure it out tomorrow. It's unconventional, but it's just pretty clear it's how they're going to do this.
Let me ask you this. What if Fontenot doesn't pitch Friday or Saturday? Do you pitch him Sunday?
Start him?
Yeah.
He hasn't started this year.
I know.
Has he started his career?
No.
Has he? I don't think so. His longest outing was the relief outing against Florida State in the Supers.
Threw a bunch
like 7 innings.
Yeah.
So he can extend.
Yeah.
You also saw him in the fall. Did he start games in the fall? Did he start any of the scrimmages in the fall? Muse, do you know?
I didn't see him start one scrimmage, no.
So I don't think – I mean –
the reason I say that is you have two guys on the back end. You have Razelman and Fontenot that we know can get outs. Like why sit on both of them?
Because, and you and I had this conversation last week. Jay, he's told you what he's going to do. He values Devin Fontenot in high leverage situations at the end of the game. Your point, and I don't want to speak for you, but your point was it doesn't matter if you don't get outs at the beginning of the game, then you don't get to those leverage situations, which is true. But what does it matter if you get the outs, if you get to the end of the game and you can't close it? So it's a chicken or the egg conversation. He prefers to have those guys at the end of the game where he can get the final 6 outs. Okay, I'm good with that. So if you have Mikhail Hilliard, if you have Sam Dutton, Grant Taylor, I mean,
I'm a fan of both of them.
Garrett Edwards, guy we haven't seen too much, but has started
threw the ball
as
well last year too.
I mean, you have guys that you can say, go get me 6 outs to start a game, and then give it to the next guy.
Yeah, on a Sunday, just by committee. Well, look, in situations like this, if it's the TBA, right? I don't hate, and maybe it doesn't work out like that every weekend, but if a guy doesn't pitch Friday or Saturday, and you got him sitting there, and you didn't need the back end guys, I don't know. It's just maybe they've thought about it, maybe they haven't. Maybe it's stupid. Who knows?
5 career starts for Devin Fontenot. The last one was in 2018. It's been a while.
That was the super regional season, wasn't it? 18?
Oh no, 18 was
19.
the Oregon State.
State regional.
Yeah, where remember they had no pit. Everyone was hurt. They had to. Anyone could start. So 5 career starts, 2 in 17, 3 in 18.
Who knows?
God, I'm trying to remember any of his starts in 2018. Had to be midweek. Anyway. Okay, so it's been a while. It's been a minute is the point. Okay. All right. Got to grab a quick break. Theriot's getting out of here. He's going to go watch Houston play baseball. Good luck to the Dunham Tigers. We appreciate you for popping in. We'll see how the Tigers do this weekend. You want to make a prediction on LSU against A&M?
I think if they win tonight, they sweep.
I hate predicting sweeps. It's so hard to do. But it feels like this is one they can get.
Yeah,
I do believe they can.
Tonight is the one that worries me, and I understand why money's been pushed back a day. I get it. It makes sense. Do it. It's fine. I'm going to say they take 2 out of 3.
Okay. All right. Brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, and reliefwindows.com. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. If you need windows that will increase your home's resale value, lower your monthly energy bills, doors that will not warp over time. A composite material comes finished in whatever color you want. You are done forever. And hardy plank and vinyl siding. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com, 288-8138, or reliefwindows.com. All right, we'll go around the SEC next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt, and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorns in stock with 0% APR for 72 months. Shop our inventory or let us custom order your Ram with up to $2,000 bonus cash, million-mile warranty, and more. Shop BayouCDJR.com or visit us off I-10 in La Plaza. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit GarciaDidMyRoof.com.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Oh, we got to move. All right, Theriot gone. We'll get heavy into Deshaun Watson news next hour. We had scheduled to go to Atlanta to talk to our guy, D. Orlando Ledbetter, at 5 o'clock, kind of what was going on with the Falcons. But I guess that'll just become a reaction piece. What's the reaction in Atlanta with this news? If you haven't heard yet, Deshaun Watson, he is a Cleveland Brown. Have we checked in on our guy, Atlanta radio fella who decided he was going to go all Schefter and try to break the news?
Is it Sports Talk Jake or something like that was his name?
Have we checked in on him yet?
I personally haven't.
Yeah. Again, I say this over and over again. This was the guy yesterday who, air quotes, broke the news that Deshaun Watson was going to the Falcons. Y'all, consider the source. I say it all the time. I'm not trying to call this kid out, but again, if it's something this significant, there's a reason Schefter and Rappaport are always the ones with that news. Not Sports Talk Jake ATL guy. All right, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Ben Howland out as Mississippi State's men's basketball coach. Announced that Thursday evening. That ends his 7-year stint at the school with with no NCAA tournament victories. Howland, 64 years old, of course, reached 3 Final Fours while coaching UCLA. The Bulldogs failed to finish higher than 4th in the SEC during Howland's 7 seasons in Starkville. 1 year remaining on the contract. He's expected to be owed $833K.
The Florida Gators.
Well, Howland became the 6th SEC coach out of a job this year. One of those also is Mike White at Florida, vacating the Florida job, taking the Georgia job, which meant Florida, of course, was open. And now Florida apparently is filled. Florida expected to reach an agreement with San Francisco's Todd Golden to be the new basketball coach. The sides moved quickly after San Francisco's season ended last night in a loss to Murray State. Golden's 36 years old, first NCAA tournament bid since 1998, 3 seasons there in the Bay. Golden combined a record of 57-36. He does have a stop as an assistant coach in the SEC at Auburn, also an assistant at San Francisco and Columbia. Florida, one of 6 SEC jobs open this offseason. As we mentioned, Georgia and now Florida apparently are filled. From around the NCAA tournament, yesterday in action, Tennessee blew out Longwood 88-56. In the biggest shocker of the day, Kentucky, a 2 seed, goes down in overtime at the hands of the St. Peter's Peacocks, 85-79. John Calipari's March woes continue. Arkansas was in a nail biter against Vermont. They eke it out, though, 75-71. 3 more SEC schools in action today. Auburn already played. They beat Jacksonville State after some a sluggish start early. Auburn beats Jacksonville State 80-61. Alabama and Notre Dame are underway. Notre Dame, of course, won the play-in game. There's 12 minutes to play in the first half of that one. The teams are tied at 10, so slow going offensively early. And then, of course, tonight it's LSU and Iowa State. Meanwhile, on the diamond, there was one game yesterday, and number 1 Ole Miss had no problem whatsoever with Auburn. Ole Miss with a bounce back after their midweek loss to Southeastern in Hammond. Stunning, because I thought if you lost a midweek game, then you couldn't be any good. But Ole Miss blows out Auburn 13-6. Game 2 is today. The rest of the league slate, by now you probably know it. South Carolina visits Tennessee. In the only ranked-on-ranked matchup, Georgia hosts Mississippi State. Number 1, Ole Miss is at Auburn for Game 2 tonight. 9th-ranked Florida, they're on the road in Tuscaloosa against Alabama. 4th-ranked Vandy hosts Missouri. LSU, as you know, hosts Texas A&M. 3rd-ranked Arkansas, they welcome in the Kentucky Wildcats. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products. 45 years in business, proudly serving selling the Savin line, but servicing all different makes and models. You need office equipment. You need Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of LSU Athletics, the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the ULL Raging Cajuns. All right, it's time for further review. Thanks for being here. We'll grab our final break of hour number 1. We'll come back. Throughout all of this NFL free agency, one of the relevant stories here is Russell Gage leaving Atlanta for Tampa. You got a call from Tom Brady. Wait until you hear how that story all played out. It's pretty funny how it's all gone down. Doug Thompson of the LSU Sports Radio Network, 45 minutes from right now. And we will go to Atlanta. D'Orlando Ledbetter, the AJC, will be with us to start hour 3. Tons of talk about the Deshaun Watson news. The shocker, if you haven't heard, Deshaun Watson will not be a Saint. He will not be a Falcon. He's agreed to a deal with the Cleveland Browns. Tons of reaction throughout the show today. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Our weekend is here, and the weather was pretty awful last night, but boy, it looks good as we move into this evening and all day tomorrow and Sunday. So get them by Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Buy local, shop local, just plant something, y'all. It is here. Spring is here. And you can see the azaleas blooming all over. The grass is getting green. Maybe as you notice your grass greening up, but you notice a lot of weeds in your grass, they have the weed-killing cocktail that you can get there at Clegg's Nursery. Not sure what to buy? They know. Just ask them. It's Clegg's Nursery, any of the 4 locations. Remember, they've got full greenhouses, so if you're looking for flowers or plants or trees or shrubs, they got all of it. If you want to plant a citrus tree this time of year, it's fantastic to do that. They've got Johnny Naylor seeds and everything you'd find at a True Value hardware store. It's Clegg's Nursery. For more than 60 years serving the Baton Rouge area, buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. We're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I asked Paulie, and I asked the whole room here if if we had an update on Sports Talk Jake, the guy who broke the news yesterday that Deshaun Watson was going to the Atlanta Falcons. And I told you yesterday, I'll tell you every day, every time, consider the source. We've been through this too many times as bloggers and podcasters and people who you've never heard of before try to become Adam Schefter or Ted Koppel. Like, it's stunning to me how often people still make these attempts. And I tell you all the time, consider the source. There's a reason that Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, why they are the best in the business is what they do. Josina Anderson, Diana Rossini, their livelihood depends on them being right. Breaking news and being right, being accurate. Your boy in Atlanta knew a guy, he's never broken news before. Someone gave him some info he thought was good, and he got burned. By the way, the Sports Talk Atlanta guy, Jake, whatever, his handle was @Can'tGuardJake. He has deactivated his account. So he's gone. He flamed out brilliantly in 24 hours. He's gone. He'll probably be back on Twitter with a different handle somewhere along the way so no one knows who he is or whatever the case may be. But it's a good lesson. And again, I don't want to dump on this guy, but something that is like, it's so important to know. Like, breaking news is very hard, and people that don't do it don't understand. I don't mean to sound condescending. Please don't misunderstand me. But when you have everything to lose from your credibility, your profession, all of it, and being right matters, you don't just single source something, especially something that big. You source it and double source it and triple and check it over and over to make sure that every detail is right, because you can't afford to be wrong. That's why when I say ask yourself this question, what does this person have to lose if they're wrong? And if you're a dude in Atlanta with 7,000 Twitter followers who's a producer on no disrespect, guys, but like on a radio show, like you got nothing to lose, man. You're wearing a backwards hat and you got long flowy hair and you look like you just woke up in your profile picture. There's no credibility there. It matters. Anyway, I'll say again, consider the source. Just don't be brave. Like, I'm not against people being content creators ever. It's a great thing. It's the beautiful part of the world in which we live. I pointed this out about Jake Crane, our guy J-Boy, Jake Crane. Jake was a college football coach in Montana, started a podcast like with his cell phone, and within 2 years he's quit coaching and he's full-time now doing that. It was on Cowherd's network. He's been picked up by somebody else now, but it's like you can absolutely do it. You can have a career in this space, but don't leave breaking news up to the people that break news, because you'll never, ever, ever, ever get as much credit for breaking the news as you will the blame for being wrong. Nobody remembers who breaks stories. They sure as hell remember if you're wrong. Consider the source. All right, it's after further review. Russell Gage is officially now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He signed his contract in Atlanta after his starting his career in Atlanta. He stays in the NFC South. He is officially. I'm laughing because there's a comment that said, "Enjoy a 30-catch, 250-yard season." That's the first comment. But he's going to be catching passes from Tom Brady. My guess is he's going to do a little bit better than that. But anyway, Russell Gage, Baton Rouge guy, went to Redemptorist, of course, played at LSU, was one of the last guys, maybe the last guy in his signing class, persevered, was a special teamer, became a good receiver. Obviously ended up with the Atlanta Falcons, became one of their top receivers with no Ridley, no Julio. Now he's in Tampa. And it was Tom Brady who called him to say how much he wanted Russell Gage to join the Bucs. Russell Gage, when he was introduced with the Falcons, he met reporters there, and he said at first He thought it was a prank call when Brady called him. He thought it was a total gut. It's I guess like Major League. Is that you, Tolbert? I mean, if you're gonna pull this, at least you could have told me you were from the Yankees. I mean, that's what it felt like for Russell Gage. He thought he was 26 years old. He was 4 when Tom Brady was drafted. So like his whole life, he's admired Tom Brady. Now he's getting a call from him saying, "Hey, I want you to come play with us in Tampa." So I hope they lose every game they play, but I wish Russell Gage, a local guy, an LSU guy, all the best in his new endeavor. Just I hope they lose every game. So Russell Gage, now officially a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, quick break. When we come back, I'm going to go very deep dive into the Deshaun Watson conversation, reaction, what it means for the Saints, what's next for the Saints, the rest of the AFC, the NFC, all of it is coming up. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. I highly recommend you use the website. The website's a fantastic tool. So many businesses go to the website and say, "Oh, I didn't know you did that." You weigh or measure something. Michelli sells, service, and rents the products you use to weigh and measure in so many different industries. I mean, think about why and how accuracy matters. If you're in agriculture, let's say you have a farm and you harvest a crop. How important is it to have that properly weighed and accurately weighed and sorted, right? That is your livelihood. Michelli does it. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. ISO 17025 accreditation is available. They have calibration labs all over the country, but still do business face-to-face, locally owned and operated. Michelli Weighing and Measurement for 75 years. Michelli.com.
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well. Yes! It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.
You know Miller Lite only has 1 more calorie, right?
And more taste. Good choice.
Spring clean your garage with a newer pre-owned vehicle from Corval Toyota, where you never pay over MSRP. There's no markups, no gains. So reserve yours today. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Sports Center. Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins with breaking news into ESPN Radio Sports Center. ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter reports Deshaun Watson changed his mind, said now he wants to play in Cleveland with the Browns, and a trade is just about complete. Houston giving Cleveland 3 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a fourth-round pick to get Deshaun Watson and a fifth-round selection. Here's Schefter giving you a quick backstory on the deal.
Well, it's pretty incredible. Basically, I think that, let's be honest here, Jimmy Haslam, the Browns quarterback, basically paid to make sure the situation went Cleveland's way. He gave Deshaun Watson a 5-year, $230 million, fully guaranteed contract.
That's Adam Schefter with Chris Canty and Chris Carlin a little earlier on ESPN Radio. NCAA men's basketball first round continuing today. 16 games on the schedule. First round winners include Texas Tech, Auburn, Ohio State, Purdue, and the 2-seed Villanova just knocked off Delaware. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
For Baker Mayfield, his mind, he's got to understand who he is. Yes, it is business, but at the same time, I caught you trying to cheat on me.
More from the guys Monday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
Love you, Matt.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You all right, bro? Missed twice.
Had it on the wrong button twice.
Okay, yeah, sure. Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Theriot was here at the very start of the show. And, man, was it an eventful start to the show. Just minutes before we came on air, we got final news. If you have not heard yet, where you been for the last hour, Deshaun Watson is not going to be a New Orleans Saint, nor will he be an Atlanta Falcon. He has made it Instagram official. Deshaun Watson is a Cleveland Brown. So shunning the hometown Falcons, shunning the Saints, who had put together a heck of a sales pitch for Deshaun Watson, and taking the money. If you have not yet heard, if you wonder why, the Browns are giving Deshaun Watson a new deal. He's going to get $184 million over the first 4 years of the new contract. That's a $48 million raise over the $136 he was scheduled to make in those same 4 years. So basically a $12.5 million per year raise in that span. But to boil it down to its most basic level, Deshaun Watson's new contract in Cleveland is a 5-year deal with $230 million fully guaranteed. $230 fully guaranteed. Let me put that into perspective for you. According to Jake Trotter of ESPN, that is the most guaranteed money on a single contract in NFL history. The deal Aaron Rodgers just recently did at $150.7 million guaranteed had set the mark, barely eclipsing the deal Josh Allen did last year for $150 million guaranteed. The $450 million contract that Patrick Mahomes did had $141 guaranteed, and Dak Prescott's deal has $126 million guaranteed. So understand that Deshaun Watson, his new contract, is not only the most guaranteed money on a deal in NFL history, it beat the previous mark by $80 million. I mean, Dak's deal was 120. It went from 126 to 141 to 150 to 150.7 to 230. Damn right he took the money. I mean, Atlanta was emotion. Atlanta was an opportunity to go home. The Saints was the logical play. And I thought he was going to end up in New Orleans. And the reason why is the same reason that Tom Brady is going to play football next year. Anyone who has ever lived can understand this. You know the saying, time heals wounds. Why? Because as time goes on, you remove emotion from the moment and you allow logic to settle. Tom Brady allowed the emotion of his retirement to settle. He's at home and as time goes on, he realizes, damn, I still got juice. I still want to do this. I miss my teammates. And so he's back. That's so common. Not just in sports, in life. Why do people say before you make a big decision, sleep on it? Why do they say sleep on it? Sleep on it. So you remove emotion, you clear your thoughts, you think logically instead of just impulsively making an emotional decision. That's what the Saints were hoping was going to happen this weekend. Deshaun Watson, man, take the weekend. But boy, the Falcons had the members of the Braves and the Hawks and Atlanta area rappers calling Deshaun Watson, trying to convince him to come home. But it was all about come home. Crappy organization, terrible roster, but it was all about home. The Saints were the logical play. But what a boss move by Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner. Mad respect. This billionaire basically stepped up and said, you know what? I don't want to lose. I've seen that, but not with billionaires throwing this kind of money. But I've seen it I get asked to MC auctions a lot of time, and sometimes there are dudes or ladies in auctions, and it's like people who got the money, and they just want to win. It don't matter what it costs. It's just about saying, I'm not losing. You see it sometimes. And that it feels like that's what this is. The Browns were the first team eliminated. They were out. The Browns were out. The Panthers were out. It was down to the Saints, Falcons, and Jimmy Haslam came in and said, wait a minute. What if I give you the richest guaranteed money deal in the history of the NFL, and we best the previous mark by $80 million? Deshaun Watson said, all right, I'm in. Here's $230 million guaranteed. I mean, I know a lot of y'all have asked. Listen, from a Saints perspective, I am disappointed because it is so rare that you ever have an opportunity, as we've talked about a bunch, to get a quarterback of this caliber in his prime. Because teams that land on quarterbacks like this in their prime, they hold on to them forever because it's so hard to find them. I'm so disappointed, but equally relieved, because we talk about with recruiting a lot. Yeah, it stinks when you don't get someone. It's worse when they go to a team that you're going to have to play all the time. Same here. Like, it stinks that they didn't get Deshaun Watson. The Saints didn't get him. It would have been worse if you had to play him twice a year in Atlanta. So we are going to talk about what this means for New Orleans. The trade details look like this, and this is all according to Schefter. It looks like the Browns are going to get Deshaun Watson and a 5th-round pick. The Texans are going to get 3 1s, a 3, and a 4. 3 1s, a 3, and a 4. So no second-round picks. So the draft capital is 3 first-round picks, but it's not as significant as we had thought when we were thinking it was going to be picks, 1s, 2s, players. 3 1s, a 3, and a 4. Now, the reason competitively, this is terrible. It's a terrible decision for Deshaun Watson. Competitively, he's going to a bad team that now has no first-round picks for the next 3 years. They're also giving up a 3 and a 4. So without any first-round picks for the next 3 years, going to a bad team, this is just a terrible decision. You're going into that division now with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati coming off a Super Bowl appearance. Who knows what the Steelers will be post Ben Roethlisberger? We'll see. But the Ravens obviously are always a competitive team, and they've got an MVP in Lamar Jackson, and they've supplemented already in this free agency. We know they've added Marcus Williams. And then that's not even counting Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson and Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and Derek Carr, who now has Devontae Adams with, the AFC's a monster. I mean, Deshaun Watson's going to do nothing in Cleveland, at least not for 3 years, until they can build some semblance of a competitive roster around him. So competitively, it was a terrible decision. But financially, I totally understand it from his perspective to take the $230 million. For the New Orleans Saints now, Jameis Winston is their guy. Now it's about moving forward and trying to see if you can maximize the potential that you've seen in Jameis Winston. For the Atlanta Falcons, they've got a tough spot as well because you restructured Matt Ryan, who's been a declining quarterback, and you have to make a decision on him now moving forward and what that's going to mean for this division as everyone's trying to catch Tampa now with Tom Brady back for another season. But what we know is that it appeared to be a foregone conclusion that Deshaun Watson was going to be in the NFC South. Not only is he not in the NFC South, he's not even in the NFC. He's in the AFC, now playing for the Cleveland Browns. What's next for Baker Mayfield? Another big question out there. So this massive domino that needed to fall to set off the chain reaction has now fallen. What does that mean for everything else? That's where the conversation continues to go. But Deshaun Watson is going to Cleveland. Okay, it's after further review. Let me grab a quick break. When we come back, I want to specifically hone in on now where the Saints go from here. Schefter has tweeted the deal between Jameis and the Saints now is expected to get done. We'll get to that next. Deshaun Watson going to Cleveland. What does it mean for the Saints? How do they proceed now with a ton of cap space, money to spend, and no quarterback? That's next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, 1hourbr.com. We're heading into the weekend, and we are seeing temperatures start to pop up a little bit. You'll notice those big yellow vans and trucks all over town with the giant clock on the side. River City's 1 Hour Air. Your friends and neighbors trust them just like I do. I'm a member of the service club. I would recommend it to you as well. It always gives you priority service. It gets you free, complimentary standard maintenance, a seasonal maintenance we talk about. That's complimentary. You get membership club pricing if you ever need repair work done. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Remember, if you have issues with your heater, your AC, nights, holidays, weekends, they'll always come out and they'll never charge you extra. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt and Hill, The Early Line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
There's one thing I should mention with respect to Deshaun Watson going to Cleveland. Cleveland did acquire Amari Cooper this week. So that's one thing that obviously is a significant piece if Amari Cooper can return to form. In 2019 and 2020, he had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. After playing in just 6 games, played for 2 teams in 2018. That was the year he was traded to Dallas. I'm trying to see his combined total. So he was back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. As a matter of fact, the only season he didn't have 1,000 yards since he's come into the NFL in 2015 was his 2017 season until this year in Dallas when he played in 14 games for Dallas, had 68 receptions for 865 yards. With Deshaun Watson, primary number 1 in Cleveland, you would assume Amari Cooper would have a nice season. So that is worth noting. They have Nick Chubb. They have Myles Garrett on the defensive side. We were a playoff team a year ago. They won a playoff game in Pittsburgh. But realistically, in that division, what can they be? I'm very skeptical. But in any event, the big focus with Deshaun Watson making the decision to go to Cleveland is what's next for New Orleans. The most obvious play is to go do the deal with Jameis Winston that you had intended to do before you learned that Deshaun Watson was available and jumping into those sweepstakes. And Adam Schefter did tweet about 30 minutes ago, after today's trade, free agent quarterback Jameis Winston now is expected to be back in play for the New Orleans Saints, per sources. It does not say that Jameis to New Orleans is a done deal, just that Jameis returning to the Saints is back in play. And, of course, it should be. If you're in New Orleans, that should have been your play all along. And I keep hearing this conversation about hurt feelings. Y'all, to hell with hurt feelings. This is still a business. I know it's cliche and people say it, but it's true. You're constantly trying to win and to make your organization better at any position. If you're the Saints or the Falcons or the Browns or whoever, and you have an opportunity to acquire a player like Deshaun Watson, a quarterback in his physical prime, it is negligent if you don't pursue that. And if you're the guy who might lose a job because of that pursuit. If you have hurt feelings, that's on you, because ultimately now you have to go find a job one way or another. Is it in New Orleans? Is it somewhere else? And we've talked about this for several weeks now. That game of musical chairs, there's not that many chairs left for dudes to plop their butt down in. I mean, if you're Jameis, you're looking around going, okay, well, there's New Orleans. There's the Colts. Does Seattle want to bring in a starter? They can roll with Drew Lock. They can draft a player. We haven't even talked about the teams that are going to draft players. But Miami signed Teddy Bridgewater there with Jalen, or with Tua. Mitch Trubisky is there with Mason Rudolph now in Pittsburgh. You know some teams are going to use draft capital to draft quarterbacks in this draft. But if you're looking for a starter, there ain't that many spots to go. And New Orleans and Jameis is still a great pairing. He's been in the organization for 2 years, and they were 5-2 through 7 games this year before he was injured. You're getting Michael Thomas back. Kamara, we don't know what his off-field issues will be. But the other really significant part of what New Orleans has, or what they've done now, is because they moved so much money around, because they restructured so many deals to make room for Deshaun Watson, the Saints now have, according to Spotrac, an estimated $24.5 million in cap space. They signed a defensive lineman today from the 49ers. So you're talking about $24.5 million to spend to go make your roster better, and you didn't have to give up your draft capital. So I know there were a lot of people that were arguing they didn't want to give up the draft picks, or just move on from Deshaun Watson. He's stringing you along. To hell with that. Every option that you had, if you were saying, hey, don't let Deshaun Watson string you along. If you were saying that and saying, look, go sign Jameis, you got this cap space so you can spend in free agency and keep your draft picks, all of that's still on the table. You lost the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, but all of the things that you mentioned are still there. That's why you pursue it. So you sign Jameis Winston. I will be very curious to see what a deal with Jameis would look like. There are reports that he already has had the offer from the Saints that was obviously put on hold with the Deshaun Watson pursuit. But what does an offer for Jameis look like? And is there enough capital or interest in re-signing Teron Armstead? Because that's the other big question now still looming over this team. You have the capital to re-sign Teron Armstead, but does he want to stay? And is he going to command a bigger dollar on the open market somewhere else? Quite possibly. I don't know if the Saints have the stomach to pay him $22 million a year. So if you see Teron Armstead leave, then you likely see a shakeup on your line where Ramczyk moves to left tackle and James Hurst is your right tackle. You probably use a draft pick on a lineman somewhere along the way. But there are spots where you need help. If you watch Armstead leave, you probably need a tackle. You obviously need to sign a quarterback. You still need help at tight end. You still need help on the defensive line. Potentially in the secondary. Again, a big part of all the hypotheticals we played were, if you did a deal for Deshaun Watson, would it include players? Would it have included a Paulson Adebo, a C.J. Gardner-Johnson, a Cesar Ruiz, Eric McCoy? Well, any of those would have put you in need in free agency or the draft. Well, now none of that happened, so we all have to sort of like reset our brain and look at what the reality is now. The Saints are no longer $20 million over the cap. They're $25 million under the cap with all of the players we thought and 7 draft picks going into this draft. If there's anything that's challenging, it's you have to very quickly get over the disappointment of not getting Deshaun Watson across the finish line and recalibrate to what is ahead of you. And remember where you were. You were a 9-8 football team that started 4 different quarterbacks. Stabilize your quarterback position and then look at where else you were weak. You got to go get a receiver to complement Mike Thomas. Jeff Duncan had a report earlier today that Dennis Allen's flew out to Los Angeles to visit with Michael Thomas, kind of get to know each other better. It might sound funny because Thomas has been on the roster here in New Orleans, but when Michael Thomas is spending all of his time with the offense, and Dennis Allen's with the defense, you probably don't interact as much as Michael Thomas did with the offensive staff. So you need a number 2 receiver to complement Michael Thomas. There are spots that you need to fill now, but the first one is you go right to Jameis Winston and try to get this deal done. If not Jameis, your only other options realistically, because remember, there was a lot of talk also about Matt Ryan. Was Matt Ryan, the Falcons were going to try to trade Matt Ryan if they got Deshaun Watson. First of all, who in the hell would have traded for Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan's 36 years old. He's got a $40 million cap hit this year. Who would give up assets to acquire a 36-year-old quarterback who is declining in his career and take on that type of contract? It was just nonsensical to think anybody would have traded for Matt Ryan. Now, if the Falcons had gotten Deshaun Watson and cut Matt Ryan, that's a different story. And then he's an unrestricted free agent. He can sign wherever he wants. That may be the same situation with Baker Mayfield. The Browns may be looking to trade Baker Mayfield, but if you're the Saints and you have interest, why would you trade for Baker Mayfield? Wait till Cleveland cuts him. Just let him loose. You've got your quarterback. I don't suspect there's going to be a very heavy trade market for Baker Mayfield. The Browns might be fine to get something for Baker, but I would still maintain if you're a team that has eyes on Baker Mayfield, you don't give the Browns any assets. You wait for them to give him an outright release so you can sign him to whatever contract you want. The only other option, aside from Jameis, Baker, is Jimmy Garoppolo or the draft. And you know my feelings on Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's a quarterback that can win games. He's not a quarterback that's going to win championships. You can win with Jimmy. You're not going to win because of Jimmy. I think Baker Mayfield fits into the same category. So do you go draft? Comes back to that whole point we're making. The obvious, no doubt player in this draft doesn't exist. That quarterback, that top 5, that no doubt number 1, consensus number 1, the Trevor Lawrence, the Joe Burrow, that guy's not in this draft. So if you're the Saints, you're really looking to commit your future at that position to someone you're not bullish on. I mean, it's Jameis. Jameis is the answer. And if Jameis has hurt feelings, you better get over that in a hurry because he's not going to find a better situation than one he'd have here in New Orleans. If we get news here today, and the way this news cycle's going, why not? I mean, the entire free agent market was churning starting Wednesday at 3 o'clock Central, the start of the new league year. And then the Deshaun Watson decision brought everything to a screeching halt because there were so many things that couldn't happen until Deshaun made his decision. Now that he has, you're going to start to see that snowball roll downhill again with a lot of different players making their decisions. All right, it's after further review. Well, I got a quick break. Take a break from the Deshaun Watson conversation. When we come back, Doug Thompson will join us, LSU Sports Radio Network, get a primer for LSU, Texas A&M. Opening up conference play this weekend out at the box. As a matter of fact, just a couple hours from right now. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. That is the Baton Rouge General Hospital, where their express care locations are open. Got the sniffles, the sneezes, the aches, pains, the scrapes and scratches this weekend. You can get to one of the express care locations, brgeneral.org. You'll see right there on the homepage. You can check in online, brgeneral.org. Tap right there on the homepage. Our urgent care clinics are located all over town. Express care, urgent care, walk-in 7 days a week. If you've got allergies or animal bites, if you've got COVID or a cough, if you've got headaches or heartburn, the Baton Rouge General urgent care clinics are there for you. brgeneral.org. Remember, they got one in Dutchtown. They got the urgent care location on Nicholson, directly across from Tiger Stadium, and on Highland, just through the south gates of LSU. It's the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Their urgent care locations. Check them out online at brgeneral.org. Check in online at brgeneral.org.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs. Family owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove. I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Tigers open up SEC play this weekend out at the box. Doug Thompson will be on the call on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Good to hang with us here for a few minutes. How are you, Duggar?
I'm doing great, Matthew. How are you on this Friday afternoon?
I'm good.
Day. Turned out to be a beautiful day.
I know, man. A rough start to the morning, but a really nice day. It should be a great weekend for ball out at the box. Ty Floyd's going to get the ball tonight. What do you expect from Floyd on this Friday night SEC opener?
Well, I expect him to be dominant with his fastball, and I think that it could be more dominant if we see a little bit more of that breaking ball that he's been trying to develop over the last 2 or 3 starts. And that's my hope, is that we see that a little more often. Especially early in the count, maybe early in the game, because, you know, his fastball is already plus, a major league level, inverted, induced vertical break, all the good things. But he needs something to go along with that, and I'm hoping we see a little bit more of that tonight. I am driving up to the box right now, Matt, and I'm seeing something that I've not seen in a long time, and certainly not that often this year. The wind is actually blowing from the south out to center field. So,
nice.
A little difference here tonight at the box.
Do you who on LSU's roster does that most benefit?
Oh goodness! I mean, all the hitters. I mean, it's completely. It's not great to have the flags poking straight out to left center field when you're the pitcher. But of course, all these hitters, right, that are able to get this ball up in the air, it's going to help them. And I think LSU probably has a little bit stronger of a lineup when it comes to power. So I think that benefits LSU more so than Texas A&M, who's going to run the bases, be aggressive. They're a little bit more, as I understand, West Coast type of style.
What does a win mean for Floyd and his style?
Well, he's going to have to keep the ball down, right? You get hurt with that fastball when you keep it up in the strike zone, and that's where he has a lot of success, is up in the strike zone. But, you don't want to challenge that win with that fastball. So he's going to have to stay down around the knees and locate like he's always done. He's just going to have to, the big thing for Floyd is the big SEC start. It's Friday night. He's going to have to control all the emotions and just try to get ahead with that fastball and stay ahead. And keep it down around the knees, and again, hopefully he can figure out a way to use that wind and throw some curveballs, which with the wind in your face, it actually gives you a little bit more bite on it. So, but I think pertaining to his fastball, Matt, he's going to have to focus tonight on making sure that he keeps it down in the strike zone.
Doug, what is it like taking the ball here in the first SEC weekend?
Well, it's exciting, right? And of course you feel all the emotions a big game and that a big game brings. And but big game players enjoy that emotion. They enjoy that energy, and it kind of heightens the awareness for some to be even more excellent than they have been, as Coach Bertman would say. And championship players, championship teams usually, bring the level up a notch when it's this type of atmosphere. So that's one of the most exciting things for me tonight, is to see what type of SEC team is this. We got a little bit of taste of it against Oklahoma, over at Minute Maid with the Thompson walk-off home run. We saw some resiliency there, and that is absolutely going to be required through the SEC. We hear a lot about Texas A&M not being very strong, and it's a rebuilding year and all these things. Well, let's see. Let's see what it looks like, comparatively speaking, to the other opponents that we've had so far. A down Texas A&M team. This is going to be a great test for the team this week to, first of all, and a great opportunity to perhaps get off with 2 or 3 wins, but to measure themselves against not necessarily one of the best teams right out of the chute, and maybe one of those teams that are going to have a rougher year because of so many new faces in the program.
Got a couple more minutes here with Doug Thompson of the LSU Sports Radio Network, former Tiger great, of course, national champion in his own right. He'll be on the call tonight. You and Patrick Wright?
No, me and the Buzz.
Okay.
Me and the Buzz are tonight. Yep.
All right, so it's Doug and Buzz tonight. Chris Blair, of course, with the basketball team up in Milwaukee. Did hear that Blake Money is expected to start on Saturday if he feels well enough to do so. Doug, just give me a thought on we talked about it on Monday about the injury and everything like that, but how realistic is it when you have that happen to 8 days later start and think you're going to be able to go deep into a ball game?
Well, first of all, I think the translation may be there, and I could be reading between the lines, but my opinion is if the Tigers win the first 2 nights, I don't think we see Blake Money this week. But if it's 1-1, I think that they may push it if possible.
Doug, to clarify, it's the thought is that he'll pitch tomorrow on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? The last I heard this morning was that they were hoping he could pitch on Sunday. So Thank you for clearing that up. I'm literally in the parking lot. I probably should have done this after I walked on the field and called you from the press box. So let's make a note next time. I'll try to do that better for you. But no, thank you for that. Well, that's good news then, because that shows me that there's a lot of confidence. And he didn't miss. I think it would be a bigger deal, Matt, if he would have missed like a start in between. But really, he kind of just picks up right there. He has an extra day's rest, ultimately, is what this ends up being. And for them to now say with confidence that he's going to start game 2, that makes me feel much better about the whole situation. Because he must have thrown enough at this point to be able to go in there and say, Coach, I'm ready.
Yeah. Man, it'd just be massive, obviously, to let LSU get off to a good start if Blake Money's available. Let's say, just play the hypothetical with me, Doug. And I know this is all just speculative right now, but as they try to set it, we know that how Jay Johnson and Jason Kelly are approaching this staff, and you're probably not going to see your traditional Friday, Saturday, Sunday rotation. But what would you like to see them do on Sunday if everything goes according to script?
So according to script, I guess script would be, burning maybe a Fontenot and maybe a Raisleman and 2 wins on Friday and Saturday, and the starters hand the ball to them, or maybe a middle guy in between. I think I'd love to see Mikhail Hilliard with another opportunity. I'm a big fan. I think that he's got the plus curveball, which makes him a factor. And then I've told you before, the innings under the belt, can't replace those. So I'd like to see him. But, man, you've got this Grant Taylor kid and Sam Dutton and some of these other guys that have started to kind of catch my attention as a bullpen that have proven that they can get outs. And I don't mean get outs against Bethune-Cookman. I mean that watching them pitch and watching the radar gun after the pitches and watching the pitches that they're actually executing. I mean that when I say that they can get outs. I'm talking about the SEC. Sammy Dutton has a live fastball. He's got a nice slider that he's able to locate and throw out of the strike zone when he needs it. And Grant Taylor, I mean, it's you always know a kid's got some pretty good stuff when someone says that his fastball is 95 miles an hour, but his curveball might actually be a better pitch.
There's some good young arms, man. There's no doubt. Be interesting to see
Indeed.
the roles they develop.
And don't forget about the 6'11" guy mixed in there that will blow it in there at 91, 93, 94 miles an hour as well. There's a lot of arrows down there in the bullpen, a lot of bullets to use. So in a perfect case world, though, you would have 3 or 4 of those names I just mentioned ready and available to take the ball from Mikhail Hilliard on Sunday in about the 6th inning in a perfect world.
In the field, the changes that we've seen is Gio and left, Barry at third. You think they stick there?
I do.
Gio and right, excuse me.
Yeah, that's right. I think that the Tuesday night lineup, and again, this is completely my speculation, but I think that there was a reason for that lineup, and I have a good feeling that it's going to be very similar to that. I mean, maybe a spot in the order shuffled here or there, but I do think that we'll see that same starting 9.
Okay, so that would mean you're starting Travinsky at catcher?
Oh, that's that might be the one change that that could happen. Travinsky had a tough night defensively and offensively, right? And I'm not really sure where they sit. I don't know where Alex Milazzo is, quite honestly. Do you know anything about that injury or when he's expected back?
I don't.
Yeah. So that's been kind of, an afterthought. But I tell you, we do take a step back without Milazzo behind the plate. He's earned the right for guys like me to say that. And then offensively, he was actually doing pretty good. He was having productive at-bats. He was doing a great job of sacrificing guys over. He even got a couple big hits when we needed them, and has hit a couple balls hard that he came up empty with. So I really liked what I was seeing from Milazzo offensively, comparatively speaking, of course, to last year. But I haven't yet seen that big offensive production from McManus or Travinsky. And I can say with confidence that it might not be a big step back, but it's definitely a difference in our defensive quality behind the plate when Milazzo's not back there.
It's a big opportunity for the Tigers this weekend to get off to a good start in conference play at home against a Texas A&M team that is dead last in the SEC in offense, 10th in ERA. Really good opportunity for LSU this weekend. They get started here a little less than 2 hours from right now. Doug Thompson, Buzzy Heidel on the call on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Duggar, we appreciate you, man. Have a great call this weekend.
Thank you, Matt. Talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, we appreciate it. That is the Duggar. This is After Further Review. We're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, gmfsmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. They do it all at GMFS Mortgage, and they got great local loan officers at gmfsmortgage.com. So log on to the website, find the local loan officer nearest you at gmfsmortgage.com. That's where you start. And then they'll do the work for you. They make the process so easy. Like when we went through our refi, I think I just e-signed everything on a document. I mean, just tap, 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 done. They make it so easy, and they'll find the best solution for you. If you're a homeowner and you haven't taken advantage of these historically low rates, what are you waiting on? gmfsmortgage.com. gmfsmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage. Changing lives. All right, it's After Further Review. Been a good show. We got hit with some some big breaking news literally minutes before we came on air that Deshaun Watson had spurned the Saints and the hometown Falcons, and he's headed to Cleveland on a record-setting deal, $230 million guaranteed by Jimmy Haslam and the Cleveland Browns for Deshaun Watson. So a lot of the show has been reaction to that. If you're here wondering where's Theriot, Theriot was here early in the show. He had to go catch his his son's baseball game, which got moved from 6:30 to 4 o'clock. So that's why he's not here. So Musso will have Tigers in the pros. We are going to go to Atlanta in about 15 minutes. We had scheduled to talk to our buddy Darryl Ledbetter, D. Orlando Ledbetter from the AJC, about everything that was happening in Atlanta surrounding Deshaun Watson and whether or not it was looking like he was going to end up there and what the vibe was. Decidedly different now for the NFC South rival. No Deshaun Watson, a restructured contract with Matt Ryan. Is he disgruntled? Are they moving on? A lot of questions for the Atlanta Falcons. We'll get to that with Orlando Ledbetter in about 15 minutes from right now. Glad you're with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
All right, the madness continues. LSU tonight, massive, massive night. Not only do you have LSU basketball at 6:20, but a few minutes after that at 6:30, you got LSU baseball. You want a place where you can watch them both? How about Pluckers? Nicholson, just south of campus, Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall, Louisiana. Maybe you're headed to the box. Go grab a bite to eat at Pluckers right now, the Nicholson location. It's literally walking distance from the box. Grab a bite to eat at the Nicholson location, watch March Madness, then head over to Alec Box Stadium. After the baseball game, head back to Pluckers and watch the late games tonight in March Madness. Tomorrow, of course, LSU baseball, more madness. The Lady Tigers play at 4 o'clock. Just set up shop at Pluckers. Make it home base. You got baseball. You got the Lady Tigers playing tomorrow. You got gymnastics at the SEC tournament, at the SEC meet. What more could you possibly want? It's at Pluckers. Award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. Get on by Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. Shop now at BayouFord.com. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit
after further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We're going to head to Atlanta in about 10 minutes from right now to get the latest reaction on the Watson news from the Atlanta side of things. That's coming up right now, though. Musso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
You know, it took us a while to get here, but it is that time of the year. How about a little spring training in Major League Baseball? Ooh. Plenty of games to go around today, but only one LSU Tiger getting some run on just the second day of games for spring, and that is Austin Nola with the San Diego Padres.
I ain't going to do one of those in a while. You get some Cali High guys in the NBA.
We'll work on that. Bit of a tough day for Austin, though. Just 2 ABs, 0 for 2, then was subbed out for the other catcher. It's spring training. You don't get a lot of ABs, but happy it's back, man. Happy it's back. NBA G League action last night. The Fort Wayne Mad Ants, they took it on the chin. LaCavell Big Boo Williams with a nice solid night. 16 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds for Cavell. Shot 3 of 7 from the floor. Also blocked 1 shot. Javonte Smart for the Sioux Falls Skyforce was inactive. Coach's decision. Moving on. The Agua Caliente Clippers, they also took the loss, but only by 7. Emmett Williams, though, really solid night. 24 minutes off the bench, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 1 block, stole the ball 3 times. 6 of 9 from the floor was Emmett Williams. Played with 5 fouls for a good majority of the night as well. So really solid night for Emmett Williams. NBA action tonight. There is plenty that will feature LSU Tigers, starting with the Trailblazers facing the Nets. So LSU on LSU, former teammates Trendon Watford for the Blazers. Then, of course, Cam Thomas for the Nets face-off. Ben Simmons is there, too, but again, he probably won't play tonight. And then Pels, they're on the floor against the Spurs, so Garrett Temple potentially gets some run there as well in that one. Last game, the Hawks host the Grizzlies. Keep an eye out for Skylar Mays. On the PGA Tour, the Valspar Championships, Sam Burns, of course, your defending champion in that event, followed up a nice round yesterday with a 4-under round today. Has him sitting at -11. He is 1 shot off the lead, tied for third. Matthew Naismith, an American, leads at 12 under. 4 birdies, 1 eagle, 2 bogeys today for Sam Burns. He'll make the weekend 1 shot off the lead, trying to defend his title at the Valspar. That is Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, online at lmfj.com. Gentlemen, you can always thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Find any charity event in town, you're most likely going to find that red box because Lee Michaels has been so involved in the local community for so long, so involved in philanthropy, and also always willing to give you a beautiful diamond. Shining, sparkling, gentlemen, thrill her with a gorgeous diamond, and you will always get the Lee Michaels experience. Just think about the time when I walked into Lee Michaels in Bocage, how many people would walk in the store. They will clean your ring, clean your watch, just complimentary, just walk in. It's all about customer service and having you know how much you are appreciated. Lifetime cleaning and inspection at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com. For Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. As Musso did mention there, we've talked so much about everything. It's a giant weekend for LSU athletics. Basketball team tips off, and it's hard to believe LSU's going to play March Madness in about an hour and 20 minutes. We haven't talked at all about the basketball team yet today. But that's just the nature of the weekend. The Deshaun Watson news sort of overtook everything. The conference play for baseball starts here in about 90 minutes as well with LSU and Texas A&M first pitch out of the box. The Lady Tigers, Kim Mulkey's debut in March Madness as the LSU coach starts tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Mentioned that the gymnastics squad is also in action in the SEC meet in Birmingham. March Madness going on has just really captivated everybody, but the Pels are back on the floor tonight as well. I get it. Right now, it's a bit of an afterthought. Totally understand as you have a team that's really struggling, trying to make the playoffs, and we're kind of looking at the bottom feeders of the league right now. But the Pelicans are playing the Spurs, and the Spurs are one of the teams that can catch New Orleans for that 10 seed. I mean, New Orleans is the 10, and San Antonio is the 11, a game and a half behind New Orleans. So if the Spurs get this one, they close that gap to a half a game. And then obviously we just keep watching and laughing at the Lakers as they lose. So we continue to cheer for the Lakers to lose. They'll play tonight in Toronto against the Raptors, a team that beat them by double digits just a couple of games ago. So cheer against the Lakers tonight. Let's hope the Pelicans can go on the road and get one against the Spurs. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Sports Center coming up. We'll get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, we're headed to the ATL. We'll get the Falcons' reaction to the Watson news.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, online, theantiagingclinics.com. Earlier today, it was over at Aesthetic. Go every Friday. You know, I've been on hormone replacement therapy for about 5 years now. It's so easy. You don't have to have an appointment for your weekly injection. You walk in on your given day, and I mean, you're in and out in less than 5 minutes. It's affordable, it's quick, it's easy, it's convenient. I was sitting there in the waiting room as a guy walked in and said, "Hey, Matt Moscona." I said, "Man, I'm here because I heard you on the radio." I appreciate that greatly, and I know our friends do as well at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, but mostly you will. And I say it often, but I'm going to say it again. It's true for me, and it's true for so many. So often you don't know how bad you feel until you start feeling good again. You've become accustomed to living and being tired and run down and sluggish. Get that youthful feeling again. It's possible. A simple blood test can let you know. Online, theantiagingclinics.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Spring clean your garage with the newer pre-owned vehicle from Corval Toyota. It's an easy process to pre-order your next vehicle with us. So reserve yours today. Come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
is SportsCenter.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins with some breaking news into ESPN Radio SportsCenter. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Cleveland Browns are trading with the Houston Texans and acquiring quarterback Deshaun Watson. Yesterday, Watson took the Browns off his list. Today, they gave him 230 million reasons to accept and put him back on the list and accept the trade. All of that $230 million is guaranteed in the new deal. Schefter reports the trade will include 3 first-round picks, a third and a fourth-round pick to Houston for Watson, and a fifth-round selection. NCAA Men's Basketball Championship first round continues down to the wire in the Midwest. 7th seed USC trailing Miami late, but with the ball.
Here's the inbounds. They get it to Peterson. Peterson's going to have to hurry. It's a long three, and it's off the glass, off the iron, no good, and Miami survives.
68-66, the Hurricanes advance. Other first-round winners today include Auburn, Villanova, Texas Tech, Purdue, and Ohio State as well.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. Let's ride.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Top Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us on a day where we were expecting to talk a lot of LSU in the NCAA tournament, a little LSU SEC baseball, because we thought we were just going to kick our feet up and wait until Monday to get news on Deshaun Watson. And then I'll be darned, right as we were coming on air today, just minutes before 3 o'clock Central, Adam Schefter tweeted the news. Deshaun Watson, he is getting a record-breaking contract. $230 million guaranteed, and he is a Cleveland Brown. The Falcons had to feel good until about 2 hours ago. Let's go to Atlanta and see what the reaction is. D. Orlando Ledbetter, you know him. AJC's on Twitter at D. Orlando AJC. Y'all give him a follow. D. Orlando, great to have you back on the show. Thanks for the time. How are you?
Hey, Matt, doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
It's always our pleasure. We appreciate the time. All right, let me just start with the reaction question. I mean, 2:55 to 3:55 Eastern, you see Schefter's tweet, your reaction.
I got it right at that time. We have been watching, been in contact with the Falcons and in contact with his agent, David Mulligetta. And we're, expecting, just checking in because it was our deadline was 4 o'clock for our print product. We can push to 6. So, my editor called and checked in with me. And I said, hey, we're probably just laying low here till Sunday or to Tuesday and so forth. But we were still on high alert. So, we had our story ready and put it up and so forth. To make sure we were, have something in the print edition tomorrow. The reaction's been, one of, okay, what do we do now with Matt? Is Matt mad?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that's where we're at here in Atlanta.
Was there a strong feeling that Deshaun Watson was going to come home?
Not really. I mean, not from the initial part. I mean, we said right off the bat, hey, the Falcons are only in this to drive up the price for somebody else. They can't really get them. They can't give up 3 number ones, and they got to $60 million quarterback sitting here. So a whole lot of stuff had to happen for him to come here. He'd have been here with no receivers, no line, no pass rush, and it just didn't make good football sense that the Falcons were even in this thing. So, but they made a presentation. He asked for them to get in it. They got in it. And, now he's getting $230 million from Cleveland. So it worked to perfection for as far as Deshaun's concerned.
Yeah, we said here Atlanta would have been strictly an emotional play, right? If he just was desperate to go home, that would have made sense. But it didn't make sense from a lot of other angles like you just spoke about. So let's talk about some of the logistics, because Atlanta did restructure Matt Ryan's contract, presumably to make room for Deshaun Watson. So what did that do financially to the Falcons by restructuring Matt Ryan?
No, they did it before they got involved with Deshaun, and it was to create $12 million in space for this year, but they never filed it with the league, because if they were going to trade for Deshaun, they needed to trade on the old contract. So, and they delayed this bonus and so forth. So, it's kind of complicated stuff,
sure.
Cap stuff. But the old contract was better for trading, and the new contract, it means he's going to be here with 3 voidable years through 26. So that's a big a shift in how you're going to handle Matt Ryan moving forward.
So Matt Ryan, do you expect Matt Ryan to be the Falcons starting quarterback in 2022?
Yes, I do. I never thought that they felt that the quarterback was available this year. They had to listen to Deshaun. They don't like the rookies in the draft pool. They passed on Justin Fields and Mac Jones last year when they were sitting at number 4. They're sitting at number 8. They're going to have a chance to pick Pickett or Willis or Corral, whichever one you think's the best guy. But they have so many needs. I was told by Arthur Smith in London before they were, getting ready to play in London, that, hey, the plan is to build out the team like the Chiefs did, and then we'll go get the quarterback later. And when the quarterback's ready to play, we'll already be ready to contend for the title. They want to do it like the Chiefs did. They built the team out, went and got Mahomes, set Mahomes, and then when he was ready to play, they traded Alex Smith. So that's what they wanted to do. And the Watson thing came out of nowhere. They weren't originally pursuing him. They were asked to get in. They got in. They didn't get him. Matt was a trooper about it. And so, they were pretty much brought in as a pawn to help drive up the price for Cleveland and the other teams that were trying to seriously get him.
What an interesting turn as this has all gone along. What are the biggest needs? A couple more minutes with D. Orlando Ledbetter of the AJC on Twitter at DOrlandoAJC. What right now stand as the biggest needs for the Falcons remaining in free agency in the draft?
Linemen on both sides of the ball. They can't block, they can't pass protect, and they can't rush the passer, and they can barely stop the run. So there we go. They got to get bigger and better up front on
those
both
are some
sides
problems.
of the ball.
It's hard to win with those issues.
Yeah, those are pretty major issues and so forth. So we'll see how they address those in the upcoming draft.
Was there ever a concern? Because I tell you from my perspective and our perspective here with Deshaun Watson, yes, you desperately wanted a player of that caliber, but as disappointed as we are that Deshaun Watson isn't going to be a Saint, we're equally relieved he's not going to be a Falcon, because you'd hate to play that guy twice a year. Was there any of that thought in Atlanta about the possibility of Watson ending up in New Orleans?
Oh, yeah, no question about it. The rivalry is what it is. It's the number one rivalry in the South. A lot of been neglected for years, but during the Sean Payton era against Mike Smith, first, then later Dan Quinn, the games were always entertaining and close. Saints won most of them, but it was always a battle. A lot of one-score games over that time. So they didn't want to, both teams are transitioning from both of those eras. The Falcons don't have their quarterback of the future, and they're trying to build a team. And the Saints don't really have theirs unless you consider Jameis the quarterback of the future. So they got to try to get him. And, they almost made the playoffs last year. So, yeah, they definitely didn't want to lose out to the Saints. It would have been a double whammy if Deshaun ended up in New Orleans and the Saints had the clear upper hand in the rivalry for the next, 10 years as things stand right now.
Man, it is never boring in the NFL. Man, you thought you were going to have just a relaxing little weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I was going to watch some games, eat some lemon pepper wings with Lou Williams maybe, and enjoy some games. But we're working here this weekend.
Well, we appreciate you for taking the call, as always, and for your time, man. Have a great weekend. We'll be in touch.
All right, Matt. You take care. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. That is D'Orlando Ledbetter of the AJC. You know how busy he is? Did you hear how many times his phone was beeping while he was on the interview with us? That's people call, that's call waiting coming into his phone. I mean, that was consistent. It's one of those things, man, when you are always on alert on a job like that. We appreciate D'Orlando Ledbetter for a couple of minutes with us here. I got let's react to that, because I did get a text into the text line from the show. You can always text the show, by the way, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. I tell you all the time that it's a text app called Community. It goes directly to my phone. You're texting me. You're not texting it. No one else sees this. It's me. It's my eyes. Greg Lehman said, I'm sorry, what? This guy actually expects us to believe the Falcons were not seriously going after Deshaun? LOL. I will react to that after the break.
AFR.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorns in stock with 0% APR for 72 months. Shop our inventory or let us custom order your Ram with up to $2,000 bonus cash, million-mile warranty, and more. Shop BayouCDJR.com or visit us off I-10 in La Plaza. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've got that blue sky, I've got that sunshine.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to front-to-backboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
Hey, look what I found! The motivation I needed to live healthy. My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why. Have you found yours?
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wait on the lineup to be posted for LSU and Texas A&M. When it is, we'll run through it. We'll also let you hear from Kevin Nickelberry as LSU basketball about an hour away from their scheduled tip against Iowa State tonight in the Big Dance. What a great night, man. I'm fired up about this evening. Hopefully you are as well. Should be a lot of it's a lot of great sports to watch, man. I'm excited about the weekend. Brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. The Saints did, by the way, they did sign a free agent, another defensive player. I'll talk about that in a moment. We talked so much about quarterbacks. We've talked earlier in the week about Marcus May, but they do have another free agent addition we'll get to in a second. South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. Tell you every day, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Shop them online. If it's on the lot, it's online. They even have vehicles that aren't on the lot because the vehicles that are on the way, you can buy them before they get to the lot. You can search that inventory at southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned. Kerry Manuel from the certified pre-owned lot, a certified pre-owned manager. They have so many different makes and models, not just Volkswagen. So shop your pre-owned lots, but also make sure you check out South Point Volkswagen and their certified pre-owned vehicles. It's South Point Volkswagen. southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? So the Saints earlier this week added Marcus May as the first big name defensive free agent addition. But that's not the only defensive free agent addition this week. Pro Football Network's Mike Kay reported that the New Orleans Saints are signing free agent defensive tackle Kendavius Street. And there are further, he was the first to report it, I should say, further reports today that Kendavius Street was actually in New Orleans today, along with Marcus May, signing their contracts, going through their physicals, and this is a done deal. So if you remember earlier this week, when the Saints tendered Shy Tuttle, we talked about the defensive line and how they only had two defensive linemen on the roster under contract. David Onyemata, Albert Huggins. Like, that's it. There's only two defensive linemen the Saints had under contract on the roster. They tendered Shy Tuttle. So now, obviously, a team can come in and try to offer him a larger contract. Saints could match, or maybe plays under this tender, whatever. But Tuttle would be 3. And we talked about it earlier this week. That was an undeniable need, be it free agency or the draft. The Saints were not, you can't go into a season with two defensive linemen. So they were going to address the position at some point. And it didn't take long. So the Saints have signed Kendavius Street, 3 years in the NFL, all with the 49ers. He's probably most infamous in these parts for being the guy that delivered the hit on Drew Brees in 2020 that broke 11 of his ribs. Yeah, that was this guy, who's now a Saint. 3 years, 35 games played, only 4 starts. So he's been a rotational player. And his role very likely in New Orleans is come in and see if you can compete with Shy Tuttle in that rotation. You know David Onyemata is one of your starters inside. Tuttle very likely would be the other, unless if Kentavious Street comes in and can win that starting job. But if nothing else, you got a guy at 6'2", 290, 285, 290, who can be part of your rotation on the inside as you build your numbers back up there with guys who are good young professionals, affordable at a position of need. The asterisk that I always throw out, of course, is Peyton Turner, first-round pick from a year ago, who can play defensive end, but also was cross-training. Kicked inside, gave you more athletic rusher from the interior, and can certainly be that guy as well. So that's another body that you have, another possibility that you have there. But the Saints they needed to add a body there. There's still a possibility they could go bigger in free agency or use a high draft pick on an interior defensive lineman, because they've still got to supplement that further with guys who are NFL starting caliber players in the NFL. Here's the most interesting part, though, about Kentavious Street. Kentavious Street played his college ball at NC State. Wait for the connect the dots, okay? So Kentavious Street played his college ball at NC State. He was there for 4 years. In his 4 years at NC State, 8 sacks, 19 tackles for loss. Not extremely productive. His most productive season was his junior year when he had 9 tackles for loss and 5.5 sacks. But 4 years, got better as his career went along, but not a super productive. Didn't have like the big blow-up splash season. The defensive line coach at NC State when Kentavious Street played there was Ryan Nielsen, who is now Saints co-defensive coordinator and defensive line coach Ryan Nielsen. So you have your defensive coordinator who knows the player very well, knows the skill set, knows if he would fit in the culture in the locker room, knows how he would get along and fit the scheme. All of that makes a lot of sense. When Ryan Nielsen coached this guy, knows him, and wants him on the roster, that speaks volumes about who they're adding. This isn't just something where you look at a guy that over 3 years has played in 35 games and started only 4 times and has made a minimal statistical impact. It's a guy that has a skill set that the defensive coordinator knows can fit into what he wants to do, knows how he coaches the position. So to that end, you're getting a young veteran player on a relatively affordable deal at a position of great need where you know he's going to be plug-and-play part of the rotation because he knows the expectations of the defensive coordinator. So there's a lot of reasons I like this. I'm being realistic, y'all. I'm not telling you I think that he comes in and he's a guy that's going to give you 6-8 sacks on the interior. I'm not telling you he's going to be a dude that generates double-digit pressures this season. I don't know. But I do understand what the Saints are doing. You don't have money to go break the bank on a big-name free agent. You are paper thin at that position. You're taking a guy that you really feel will understand your scheme. There's familiarity. It's a lower risk, lower dollar amount, and you're not asking him to be a stud. You're asking him to be a guy that can give you snaps in a rotation alongside Onyemata and Tuttle and Huggins, and it gives you depth at that position. I like it a lot. So Kentavious Street, defensive lineman, 3 years with the Niners, has now signed and is a new Saints defensive lineman. So the Saints have addressed what was a very big need for them here on this roster heading into 2022, and there are others. They still obviously need help at receiver. They're going to need they need a tight end desperately. They're going to have to address running back as well because of the uncertainty with Kamara, but also because Mark Ingram is not under contract. And I don't know if Tony Jones Jr. is the guy that you want to commit to. So there are still a lot of issues, a lot of question marks that this team has. Left tackle, obviously, with Teron Armstead still a free agent. What happens there? They're going to have to address tackle one way or another. So, and now that the Deshaun Watson news is final, they can start checking a lot of those boxes, and they check defensive tackle today with Kentavious Street. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service, name-brand tires at wholesale prices. You know the drill. Find the Shawbills location nearest you. The newest location is in Denham Springs on LA 16. You know where they are, where that Shawbills is. That's right, if you're in the LP. Now there is a Shawbills near you. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Hit the promotions tab right there at the top of the page, and you'll see all of the great dealer specials from the manufacturer, the in-house offers they have as well. Whatever it takes, Shawbills is going to find a way to get you the best tires on the road for the cheapest price possible. Go to ShawBillsTire.com to learn more. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, NCAA tournament is day 2 here is underway around college basketball. Texas leading Virginia Tech right now. That game with 7.5 to play. The Longhorns comfortably ahead by 14. Bama's in a lot of trouble. Bama's going to lose this ball game. Notre Dame, the 11 seed, which won the play-in overtime against Rutgers. They're up 14 on Alabama right now. It's 76-62 with 1:12 to play. So Bama's going to lose that game and bow out, joining Kentucky as one and done in the NCAA tournament from the SEC. And then we're looking ahead to the night slate of games as well, where LSU will play. But, man, what a day yesterday where Murray State and San Francisco was such a fun game last night. They went to overtime. Kentucky got bounced by the 15 seed St. Peter's. And just looking at the other action from today, Villanova beat Delaware 80-60. Auburn, no problem with Jacksonville State, 80-61. Purdue, they rout Yale 78-56. So Lee Feinswag's national championship pick lives to play another game. Texas Tech, no trouble with Montana State, 97-62. A little bit of an upset, Miami, a 10 seed. They beat Southern Cal 68-66. So Andy Enfield's squad, they're out. The 10 beats the 7 by 2. And Ohio State beat Loyola of Chicago 54-41. So Sister Jean's run in March considerably shorter this go-around than it was a few years ago when Loyola made the Final Four. The games tonight, still to tip, Illinois against Chattanooga, Duke against Cal State Fullerton, top seed Arizona against Wright State, Houston UAB. Should be a really fun one in the South region. A couple of mid-majors there. Kelvin Sampson. Of course, you got Andy Kennedy, who's now at UAB, the former Ole Miss coach, has them in the tournament. UAB's 27-7 on the year, so that's a 12-5 matchup to be on the lookout for. Michigan State against Davidson, that's the 7 versus 10 matchup. And, of course, the Colgate-Wisconsin game late tonight. LSU, should they beat Iowa State, will play the winner of that game. And then TCU Seton Hall, an 8:57 Central Time tip-off tonight in the South region. So a lot of basketball still ahead. It's going to be an awful fun night. Not only do we have college basketball, we got LSU baseball. We will run through the starting lineup for the LSU Tigers as they get set to take on Texas A&M in their SEC opener. Out at the box a little more than 1 hour from right now. We'll do that when we return. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
I've told you several times before, one of my favorite pastimes on this, the first Friday of the NCAA tournament, also a Friday in Lent, is to go get a whole mess of crawfish and eat crawfish and watch the NCAA tournament, some LSU baseball. If you want crawfish, nobody boils more crawfish in the state of Louisiana daily than Rouse's. They have their in-house boiling rooms where they boil all their seafood, boiled shrimp, boiled crawfish, boiled crabs, you get it. But right now, it's crawfish. So walk into Rouse's, look to your left, go toward the seafood section. You'll see the kiosks that have the hot boiled section on the kiosks, and the crawfish are already bagged and priced. So just grab the bag and go. At Rouse's. Any of the Rouse's locations, you can go to rouses.com to find whatever Rouse's is near you. Rouses.com. Of course, Rouse's, the official supermarket of LSU Athletics. If you need that seafood, you can find it, including crawfish, live and boiled, at Rouse's.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, we'll get to the LSU baseball lineup here in just a quick second. Kevin Nickelberry, we are less than 1 hour away from tip LSU, Iowa State. We've talked about it all week, but y'all, Iowa State's a bad team. Let me rephrase. You're not in the NCAA tournament if you're a bad team. Iowa State is a bad offensive team. They're a very bad offensive team. They're 328th in the country in scoring. In their most recent outing, they lost in the conference tournament to Texas Tech 72-41. They scored 41 points. 2 games prior, they lost to Oklahoma State 53-36. That's right. 2 games ago, they scored 36 points in regulation. A Division I college basketball team in the NCAA tournament. They've also got games where they scored 54, 51, 41, 44. They're bad. They can't score. And LSU's defense is going to give them a ton of problems. The big question is, can LSU withstand Iowa State's defense and generate some offense? That's going to be the key for LSU tonight. Kevin Nickelberry, LSU's interim head coach, on the week of practice for the Tigers as they get ready for their return to the dance.
The first day was a little tough, obviously. New voice. They've heard a certain voice for most of the year, and so the first day was tough. But we had 2 good days after that, and I think the guys understand this moment. I mean, this time of year it's about moments, and I think we got guys on our team who are ready for the moment. And we just got to go out tomorrow, and we got to prove it.
We mentioned Iowa State offensively, not very good. There's really 2 players you got to look out for. Isaiah Brockington, he's the Penn State transfer. We've talked about him. He averages 17 points a game. Tyrese Hunter averages 10 points a game. Those are the only 2 that average double figures for Iowa State. And Kevin Nickelberry was well aware about containing the 2 of them.
It comes down to players. At the end of the day, you can draw up whatever you want. Players are going to win. A lot of times when you talk about shining moments, they're pictures of players who made big plays. We're going to have some players make some big plays tomorrow, and a lot of times it comes down to the Jimmys and Joes, and their Jimmys and Joe, Hunter and Brockton are good. So we're going to have to contain them. We're going to have to make them uncomfortable. We're going to have to make someone else beat us. And we worked on that today, and our Jimmys and Joes are going to have to step up. We have guys that are good as well, and I'm expecting Easton and Days and Pinson and Murray to have great days, so
Murray present.
We'll see what happens. We'll put our guys against their guys, and we're going to see what happens.
Going to be interested to see Pinson or maybe even Gaines. Gaines defensively on Brockington would be interesting. Brockington is a 6'4 guard. He's a big guard. He can rebound everything as well. But do you put Gaines with all that length and energy out there in Brockington to kind of get up in his face? It'll be interesting to see how LSU draws that up. And we talked about defensively. Of course, that's how Iowa State has thrived. They're a very good defensive team. And Kevin Nickelberry talked about that challenge for his team.
Well, they do an unbelievable job of team guarding. They load to the basketball. From a terminology standpoint, they love the ice, keep you on one side of the floor. We're going to have to move the basketball a little bit more tomorrow. We tend to play more isolation basketball in the past, but we probably going to have to – they're not going to let us do that as much. We're going to have to move the basketball. We're going to have to move bodies and move the ball. Let the ball find shots tomorrow, for a team that, they don't get as many steals as we do, but they get as many stops as we do. So we're going to have to definitely have our best game of offense tomorrow to beat Iowa State.
Tomorrow, of course, is today. That was Kevin Nickelberry's media availability from Thursday. Tigers and Cyclones less than an hour from right now tipping. The LSU baseball lineup is posted. There's a significant surprise in this lineup. We'll get to in just a quick second. Got to remind you about DraftKings. Of course, LSU and Iowa State. You want to bet on it? You can. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. If you're in Louisiana, mobile betting, you know it by now. We tell you every day. Mobile betting live in Louisiana. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge, one word, Baton Rouge, and this is the deal. Bet just $5 on any game. If the team you pick wins, they'll give you $200 in free bets just for using the promo code Baton Rouge. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. March Madness is here. Remember, parlays, the more legs you add, the more money you can win. That's available as well through the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You can bet college baseball as well on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. But it's all about the madness right now. You want to bet every single March Madness game, you can do it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Just remember, when you do, use the promo code Baton Rouge. It'll trigger that special. Bet just $5 on any March Madness game. Bet on a 1 to beat a 16. I mean, take these astronomical odds. It wouldn't have worked if you had bet on Kentucky yesterday, but there are two. Bet on a 1 to beat a 16. If that happens, boom, bet just $5. They'll give you 200 in free bets at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It is all live. The madness is rolling on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-7-STOP. Earlier this week, Josh Pearson had a really big at-bat in the Tulane game. He had a pinch hit RBI, which gave LSU some cushion in the 8th inning. And dude is not, one thing I'll say about Pearson, dude is not cheated when he swings the bat. I mean, he takes aggressive cuts. Josh Pearson's starting in right field tonight. We had speculated, might it be Gio with Dugas in left, Cruz in center, Gio in right. No. Pearson's starting in right tonight. And Gio's starting in left. This is the first time they've obviously gone with this lineup this year. But it is so abundantly clear why this has happened. We talked about it on Wednesday after LSU beat Tulane. But Gavin Dugas, in that ball game, there was a fly ball to left, and he flat dropped it, and 2 runs scored. I'll give Theriot a lot of credit. We've talked so much about errors here, and a lot of people have focused on Jordan Thompson and K. Doty. Thompson's got 7, Doty's got 6. And Theriot's point was, look, if you make an error on the infield, probably cost you a base. Runner will get on base, maybe cost you a base. You make an error in the outfield, it costs you multiple bases or a run. And in that instance, LSU was up on Tulane 6-2. They're up 6-2 in that ball game. And when Dugas dropped that fly ball, Tulane scored 2 runs on that. They would have been LSU would have been out of the inning. Instead, it's 6-4 and you're in a nail biter. So this is the first time that I can look at this and really say it looks like Jay Johnson's going with a more defensive lineup. Mostly he has leaned offense. And I understand that Gavin Dugas is not off to the start like the way he finished last year with all the homers when he finished with 19. I get it. But he's still a proven enough offensive player and he's been in SEC battles to where it's baseball. Sometimes you go through slumps. That's why you play percentages and you play averages, because there's going to be days when you go 0-for-4. It doesn't mean you stink. It just means you're 0-for-4. Tulane, LSU's 2-3-4-5 hitters were 0-for-14 combined. You're rarely going to see days like that, but they happen in baseball. That's why you keep running them out there and play through it. But it's pretty clear here that, Jay Johnson is going defensive in his outfield because he does not want to get in a game with he doesn't have Blake Money on the mound. It's Ty Floyd tonight, like we told you. And you don't want to get in a game where you're in a tight ball game, and you're giving away outs, maybe allowing runs or extra bases in the outfield. So this is how they're going to play it tonight. Trey Morgan's going to bat first and play first, as he has. No change there at the top of the order. It's going to be Morgan, Cruz, Berry. Berry's going to play third. Doty's going to play second and bat cleanup. Joe Barry will DH and bat fifth. And Jordan Thompson's going to play shortstop and bat sixth. So Morgan, Cruz, Berry, Doty, Joe Barry, Thompson. And then this is the change. Gio DiGiacomo is going to start in left field, and he'll bat seventh. Josh Pearson will start in right field and bat eighth. And freshman starting in his first ever SEC game. That's something. And then McManus is going to catch and bat ninth. So Morgan, Cruz, Berry, Doty, Joe Thompson, DiGiacomo, Pearson, McManus. That's how they'll line it up tonight for the first SEC game of the season for LSU and Texas A&M. We're 45 minutes away from first pitch out at the box with LSU and Texas A&M. By the way, the first two games of the series are on the SEC Network Plus. They're streaming. If you want to watch, of course, you can listen on the LSU Sports Radio Network and our sister station, Eagle 98.1. But games 1 and 2 are on Plus. Game 3, Sunday, is on SEC Network. It's on linear TV. So if you have cable, if you have SEC Network, you can watch Game 3 on the SEC Network with LSU and Texas A&M. So a little bit of a change there for Jay Johnson tonight. No Gavin Dugas in the lineup. As the Tigers open up conference play, it'll be Pearson in right, Gio in left, McManus behind the plate, Berry at third. Those are the changes. I like LSU in this series. I know we've talked about it all week. A&M doesn't hit. They're dead last in the league in batting average, and they're 10th in the league in ERA. The notable actually is Dallas, who's their Friday night guy, is throwing it pretty well this year. He's got a 1.78 ERA. Prager, who's their Sunday guy, is the best ERA on the team among the starters. He's got a 1.35. Oddly enough, Detmer, who's the Saturday guy, is an ERA pushing 5. They really struggled last week, but A&M is the best record on the weekend is on Saturdays. So they're 2-2 on Fridays, they're 2-2 on Sundays. They're 3-1 so far on Saturdays in their 4-weekend series. So for whatever that's worth, that's been where they've actually had the most success, is finding a way to win games on Saturday. But LSU's going to have Blake Money going tomorrow. Knock on Formica. If Money gets out there and throws it well and doesn't feel any ill effects, he'll be good to go and should be able to start for the Tigers tomorrow. That's the plan anyway. Floyd tonight, Money tomorrow, provided no setbacks, and then TBD on Sunday. SEC Baseball at the Box returns about 45 minutes from right now. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break of the show. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with a little bit of what we learned. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Stick around. It is AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com, agent225.com. And Darren gets so many 5-star reviews from thrilled customers and clients just like me. This one came in from the Starks family, which said, from our very first meeting with Darren, an immediate rapport and connection was present. Professionally, spiritually, he was fired up to help us achieve our goals. His energy was contagious and ignited us also. This past Friday, when our listing went live, his text was, "It's fantastic Friday. Let's make it happen. Get your home sold today. Be blessed. Hope you love it." That's the type of stuff you hear about Darren all the time. His energy is contagious. His marketing is brilliant, and he gets results. 335-7666 or agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Auctioner Health.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Great spot to get all weekend long. Premium cigars, top shelf liquor. Certainly got some TVs there as well. If you want to watch some of the action, you can do it at Don Juan Cigar Bar. Normally we don't do this on a Friday, but no Theriot, and it's March Madness. So let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Clark Crane Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in St. Francisville, because a great deal is worth a short drive to Clark Crane.
You're welcome. So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable, the often incomprehensible, the Ott father himself, Jimmy Ott, who's riding a heater. At least he was yesterday. I don't know how he's doing today. Otter, how are you?
Good. With $7.79, I'm checking out lines right now. I'm at the teller. Yes. Yeah. We want that for. I'm not disclosing how much money I'm putting on this. So anyway, are we on it, baby? Had a good early morning. All right,
good.
Sean, my man over here with a 760. That's LSU. I do like LSU tonight.
All right.
4. All right. No. Scratch that. And what is 767? UAB, man. I love it. Love it. No, I'm good on that. Let's just put this down. Yeah. And so Houston, until they beat Memphis, they had not beat a team in the tournament. Memphis had beaten them earlier. UAB's one of the most experienced teams in the country right now, and I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think a real money line shot at at 8.5.
I'm looking at 9 right now, Otter. I mean, I'll take all 9 of those points with Andy Kennedy's UAB squad. I'm with you, man. Anything else you like tonight aside from the Tigers and the Blazers?
Davidson, 7-1. I'm looking at the number on the screen here. Davidson, +1. Man, 40. This is just not a Tom Izzo team. They've been waiting for him. They've really limped down the stretch. Yeah. Have not even close to the level of most of the teams in this tournament. Davidson lost the lead late in the Atlanta 10 tournament, but they're legit, Matt. I love Davidson, +1 tonight.
How's the rest of your day gone, Otter? How did the early action go?
Pretty damn good.
Good. I heard you some on Game Time, and you said you were 6-1. I mean, you had a pretty. Correct me if I'm wrong. You had a pretty good day yesterday.
Yeah. No, we had a good day. Today, I just took like these 15 to 20 point underdogs, so very small in that line. Yale got beat, Montana State got beat, Jacksonville State got beat. So in Delaware got beat as well. But had Sister Jean, I'm sorry, I had to fade her. I talked to you about that. Even on a Friday during Lent, 88%. 88% of the public action, the number of tickets betting on Loyola +1. So I just could. I got to fade that. And then the second most public play today, Virginia Tech, 82% against Miami. They went down as well. So good day for me fading those public trends.
Hey, before you go, anything that you look to for tomorrow that you love?
Oh yeah, St. Peter's. That's a lot of points at 9 tomorrow. Kind of like Michigan +6 against Tennessee. They can't play any better. And I like North Carolina getting 5.5 against Baylor. They look great.
All right, UNC, Michigan, St. Peter's are the plays the Otter likes for tomorrow. Hey, man, I'll let you run. Hope you're enjoying the time up there in Natchez. And we'll look forward to having you back in town next week, man.
No problem. Vegas last week, Natchez this week. We'll hook up from Dubai next week.
All right. We'll see you, Otter. Be well. That is Jimmy Ott. Good enough to jump aboard for a couple of minutes here. A little Game Time action. We don't normally check in with Jimmy on Fridays because Game Time is from 10 to noon on Fridays. And he's, usually by this time on a Friday. Safe to say, a little incapacitated, maybe. But anyway, up there in Natchez at the book, and we appreciate Otter for jumping aboard with us. So, again, he likes LSU, UAB, and Davidson tonight. His picks for tomorrow, St. Peter's, Michigan, and North Carolina, what the Otter likes for tomorrow. It is after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Just about to put a button on it. Muse, what do you think of? I know you're jetting out of here in 2 minutes to go to the box. What do you think of the lineup changes?
Interesting, man, for sure. First start all year for Josh Pearson.
Crazy.
It's wild.
In his first SEC game. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't love not having the guy who led the SEC in RBIs in the lineup, but I get it. Go forward with it. I think Pearson's really good, and if he gets the at-bats, he's going to show out as a freshman. He's just that talented.
It's got to be more of a defensive move as well, though. It has to be because you're looking at an A&M squad that's batting 260 as a team.
Yeah.
They can't score. So he's saying, let's not give them – Jay's saying, let's not give them runs. And maybe and if you get anything out of Pearson in the 8-hole, it's Lanyap. If you get anything offensively out of Pearson in the 8-hole, it's Lanyap. Look, Gio and left is the more difficult defensive position. You put your better defender out there. Yes, come on.
I would have kept him in right. I'd have kept him in right. You always hide people in left field, though.
You hide people in right field, dog. With more right-handed hitters, I'm more with that.
That's the thing. It's another lefty in the lineup, too. Adding Pearson.
There's no left-handed bat in the lineup, for sure.
Against the righty tonight.
I don't hate it. I don't hate. It's the reason they put Barry at third, put Gio in right. They were tired of losing bases with Barry in right field. I get it. Jay's learning his lineup, and he's going. I think that's intentional. I think he's intentionally going defensive tonight because A&M is not a good offensive team, And with Floyd on the mound, you're going to need a good defense behind him. I think that's what it is. So see if they can go get it tonight. Tiger basketball as well, about 25 minutes from tip. Busy weekend. Muso, Paulie, appreciate you guys. Hey, what did you learn today?
Oh, man.
Paulie, what did you learn today?
Baker Mayfield is definitely done in Cleveland.
That. Deshaun Watson. Going to Cleveland. The Brownies. Apparently, Atlanta was just leverage, right? Just to get a better deal.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. If you want to see 2020 without contacts or glasses, call 924-2020. There's a way to do it. The Williamson Eye Center, no matter your age or your refractive issue, the Williamson Eye Center has been helping thousands of Louisiana residents for 70 years. Now it's Dr. Blake Williamson leading the charge. And he every time I look at Dr. Blake's Facebook or his Instagram, he's jet setting somewhere around the world, speaking at a conference of ophthalmologists, presenting cases. And it's stunning because you see this really forward-thinking, groundbreaking technology, and it's right here in Baton Rouge. It's right on the cutting edge, and that's what Dr. Blake Williamson does there at the Williamson Eye Center. No matter your age or refractive issue, if you want to see 2020 without contacts or glasses, there is a way. Go for that consultation. Call 924-2020.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants.